Like, I'm not crazy about their music, but I'd siph with Nickelback. Like,
I'd siph.
They're just like cool ass dads.
His
bro.
son is a podcaster now, I believe. So if we can get
hey, Nick L back, bro. Nick, we got a show you can be on, homie. Yo, what's up? Joey's on his phone. Professional as shit.
Damn,
Very
this
true.
is the first time we started early.
Oh, snap. Everybody, Joey's on professional. Throw up the unprofessional graphic.
comment everyone below. Comment your least favorite thing about Joey.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Everybody comment the most unprofessional thing you've seen up until this point in this episode of the podcast. All right? Fucking, I think it's kind of funny that I bring that up because we are going to be talking about the workplace a little bit. We're going to be talking about professionalism in a sense. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
First off, it's great to have the whole quartet here for a while.
That's 4.
Just as a little bit of side information, some background info to Joystick. Whenever I make the thumbnails, the preset names for those thumbnails in Photoshop are duo, trio, and quartet. So that's the official name whenever we're here. We're not musicians, but or maybe we're comedy musicians who play the bass to the rhythm of our own jokes.
That was
a little deep, right? Bad. Something like that.
Is that Lonely Island?
Not good.
I don't know. We'll take it. But before we get into it, go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show.
Always.
We're here at episode 149. Did you think we'd be here by fucking episode 1 almost 3 years ago? Because I didn't, but
That's
we're here.
Wild.
It's pretty fun. Next week is 150. We got fun stuff in store there.
Plans.
Make sure to subscribe to the Team Joystick YouTube channel. That's us.
Yeah.
We're Team Joystick. It's crazy. Man, it's nice to see everybody. It's nice to have Joey back from Florida.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't know why. I'm one of those, like, gotta get all these topics out of my fucking body, right?
Let's go.
So something I've been saving since like right after we ended last week's podcast.
Correct.
Something I've kind of been touching on for the past few weeks on this show.
A little.
A show that I've been binge watching.
Yes.
I finally finished Superstore.
Very, very proud of you.
If you followed the Joystick Show, probably like 5 or 6 episodes ago, I mentioned how I started the show, how Dylan introduced it to us one night after a podcast and a YouTube video, and I was pretty hooked after that. Binged it relatively quick, probably like 5 weeks or something like that, and I got a lot to say about it. But before I say anything, somebody here is also watching Superstore.
Yep.
So I want to shout out to Jerry, and I also want to mention that nothing that I mentioned will be spoilery, anything, so you don't have to worry. There's no graphics today. I mean, unless something later gets spoiled. But for now...
Unless we gotta censor something.
Yeah, right.
Censor graphic.
Like this. But anyway, I wanted to talk about what I thought about Superstore. Because I'm a bit of a comedy aficionado. I'm a bit of a filmmaker myself, and I like this
Some
stuff.
comedy analysis.
Did you finish Superstore?
I've watched it like to disjointed. Right now, in my current watching, I'm season 2, but I've seen a lot of stuff from 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Just from watching it with my family back in the day.
So real quick, before I start talking about Superstore, I'm going to be a bit of an asshole. I'm going to mention another show, Parks and Recreation, which is on record my favorite show of all time. Parks and Recreation is a 10 out of 10. And I'm only mentioning that so that when I mention stuff about this show, you can kind of see what I feel about it in conjunction to a show I think very, very heavily of. Okay? Season 1 of Superstore I thought was fantastic. I think it really hooks you in. I think it's really great. Leads into Season 2, which is also a really good season. Leads into Season 3, which is also a very solid season. Leads into Season 4, which is pretty decent. Season 5 is a bit of a downer. I don't know what it is. I haven't really taken, I guess, enough time to think about it. But Season 5 is a real fucking, like, just monkey wrench in that show. Like, you get to, you just think, because the show's on this weird consistency where at the very least up until that point it's plateauing. Yeah. But then it just drops. It's like the characters that you've grown to love get on your nerves, and it feels like they play into a lot of their negative traits and things like that. There's a lot of just storylines that get muddied up with other things. And, at the end of it, I'm just kind of like... And it's important to mention this because season 6 of Superstore is the final season. So at this point in the watch, I'm like, I really like this show up until this point. Is it going to end poorly, right? Like,
which is the worst.
I'm
That's
almost
the last
thinking,
thing.
and I'm almost thinking like, do I even want to finish this and ruin what I really enjoyed? And another thing, without spoiling it, because Jerry knows a bit about it and I haven't spoiled the specifics of it, is I had spoiled something for myself in the beginning that a major character in the show actually leaves in season 6. So I was like, how is that going to affect the storylines, right? I'm like, I don't really understand it. So I just kind of went into it thinking, probably not going to like it. Season 6 might just be my favorite season in the entire show.
Wow.
From what I've seen, I know this because I haven't seen a lot of season 5, but I have seen season 6. Mm-hmm. So I can say, I'm like, I don't know what the bad episodes are.
So was that guy the problem? Because apparently he left and it got better.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? When that character leaves the show, to fill the void, they don't introduce any real new characters, but they introduce new plot lines. And it's important to note that season 6 of Superstore went into development in 2020 to 2021. So the character that gets introduced to Superstore is COVID-19. So a show about a superstore, like a Walmart type store, going into
toilet paper shortage, everything,
going into the whole quarantine thing.
I didn't know it went this deep. Wow.
It heightens the show to such a degree.
But honestly, I would say that's actually, I know we're probably going to get into this, but that's almost like the untapped potential of Superstore is the political event side of things.
And it goes further than that.
Yes.
I need to watch it.
Remember some of the other crazy shit that happened during the quarantine? Remember the George Floyd situation that happened in Missouri?
Yes.
How about
the show takes place in Missouri, in St. Louis.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So there's a whole Black Lives Matter episode, and it's done really well. One of my biggest compliments that I gave to my favorite show over the years, Parks and Rec, is how it's able to deal with these, like, not hard hitting, but these like what's the word? Real but
events
like,
that we all have to deal with.
Yeah,
right?
like these legitimate things in our life that are, they're just gonna have. I don't want to say that, but they're just the test of time, right? They just tend to cycle. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this show waited 5 seasons didn't really touch much of that at all, and then it gets to season 6 and finally gets diving into these like heavier hitting stuff, with the exception of immigration, which does get touched on. That's I would say that immigration is like the one thing that's like the heavier theme throughout the series of the show.
I would say so too.
But in the final season, they just start hitting all these different topics, and it really, really works. And then the last thing I wanted to mention about season 6 was the ending itself, the series finale. So like going into it, like I didn't know how the show was going to end. And here's the funny thing about the show. You actually don't really find out where the show is concluding or heading to in its ending until about an episode or 2 before the end. So like the show had the last season has 15 episodes. You get to 13 and you're like,
what the fuck
is gonna happen? Like, and then you get to 14 and you're like, oh. And it feels like the rug gets pulled from underneath you. And I don't even think that's necessarily a bad thing, because for the first time in my entire watch of the show, I got emotional, because I came to realize that this was the end for these characters that I've been watching. And I was like, oh fuck, this is like, it's so sudden, right?
Yeah, you don't even get closure. It's like one episode and then boom, it's the finale.
And then the series finale comes and they leave arguably the most emotional moment in the entire show for literally the very last moment of the series. I'll just spoil the context of it, but the show itself ends with Garrett, one of the most popular characters in the show, who's known as the customer service rep, who's also known for making store announcements on the PA system. He rolls up to the mic in his wheelchair, and he's getting ready to give his final announcement of the show. And at the end of it, he's like, peace out, and he dips. But then he rolls back to the microphone, and he's like, actually, it's been 20 years of me giving announcements here, and I probably shouldn't leave it like that. And Garrett, the straight man who, is known as like the I'm too big for this on the show, actually is the one to deliver the heartfelt goodbye, not only to the characters, but to the fans themselves. And as he says it, we get little glimpses into the futures of these characters. And I was fucking crying my eyes out. Aww. And for a while, I was literally like, because it's not sad. I mean, it's bittersweet. But I was like, for so long, I was like, why am I crying? Like, I was like, this show hasn't made me cry at all up until then. And then I was like, that's exactly what it is. The show hasn't made me cry until the very fucking end.
I would also like to say, too, that I feel like the show is the most emotional at the very beginning and the very end.
Yeah.
The first episode is really emotional. And then the rest of the first season is not emotional at all.
No,
you're like, I thought
honestly speaking, Dylan, there's probably 3 emotional episodes in total. It's the first, the last, and then like season 4 finale.
What happened in the first episode?
That's like the stars on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, that.
Mm-hmm.
That was cute.
But that's it. None of the show is like that.
But none of the show has any
after the show.
No
it's
loving moments.
There's undertones.
Back to the
after the show. It's like, oh, we found a severed foot. We found another severed foot. It's like ridiculous.
Is that the same severed foot?
But overall, I thought it was a great show. And if I have to put it in my Bobby Seal of Approval club, which I'm starting right now, I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. I really did enjoy Superstore. It only would have had room for growth if that season 5 didn't bring it down the marks, but great fucking show. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to give it a second rewatch. But that's my 2 cents. Shout out to Superstore.
I only saw the first episode.
It's pretty good. It's been pretty good so far. It hasn't been a lot of like bad episodes, and I'm in like end of season 3.
It's funny.
So, speaking of the comedies on the TV shows.
Oh yeah, the segue.
I have a segue for a segment.
Oh shit!
How's that? You like that one, Dylan?
Segs.
Yeah, I got a bit of a segment that I've been working on. I've been cooking up, and I think I enjoy it heavily. So I hope you guys will enjoy it just as much, or if not as much, that I enjoy it. I don't know if that made any sense what I just said.
I may or not do what you like for the segment.
So this segment is called Workplace Humor.
Ooh, okay.
Allow me to explain. I've got 10 running jokes from TV comedies. I'm going to tell you and explain to you the running joke, and you have to tell me what workplace comedy that running joke comes from. Okay. To make it more interesting, the answers that you can pick from are the same for all 10 of the running jokes. So, each one of these running jokes either comes from the show The Office, Parks and Recreation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or the previously mentioned Superstore.
Ooh, I haven't seen too much of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but
so,
I have seen a lot.
And just to give you guys some, give you a bit of an explanation, The Office obviously takes place in an office in Pennsylvania. Parks and Rec takes place in city government. Brooklyn Nine-Nine takes place in a police station, and Superstore takes place in a big budget superstore. Sounds good?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has Adam Sandler. No, Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Sandler, okay.
Andy Sandler, Tyler Cruz.
The other people.
David Spade.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
I left so you guys can get a taste for it. I left some of the easier ones at the beginning. Sound good?
Okay.
Start with number 1 out of 10. That's what she said is uttered whenever something that could be sexually suggestive is mentioned.
Friends.
My favorite.
How I Met Your Mother.
My favorite workplace.
What you guys thinking?
The Office.
Yeah, that's The Office.
Yeah. Is that The Office? It's actually they're all intentionally wrong. No, it is The Office. Good job.
I mean, that is a very 2000s thing.
No, right?
Yeah. That's the most. That's what she said.
But I saw it late. I saw The Office late, and him saying that was almost like a dated joke.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's what she said.
Very of the time.
And then you grow up and you realize that that's where the joke took off from. Honestly, it's like that fucking show.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. A character jokes about the titles of another character's non-existent sex tapes.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, I don't know. I want to say Parks and Rec, but it's like I can't think of what character would be saying it about who.
I'm gonna say Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't recognize that.
I'm gonna go to be different. I'm gonna go with Parks and Rec.
It is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's Jake's running joke for Amy. Anytime something sexually suggestive is said, he goes, "Title of your sex tape." Happens dozens of times in the show, actually. Probably up in the 50s or 60s. So much so that people actually start doing it to other characters in the show, which is pretty funny. Number 3. The main interior setting of this show is filled with gory and insensitive murals.
Parks and Rec.
Wait.
Murals?
Where is there a mural on the...
What are The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Superstore? Murals?
I know it because it's like the very first couple of episodes. It's in the first season.
Yeah, I'll go with Parks and Rec, yeah.
I don't know where other shows have murals. It's Parks and Rec.
It's either Parks and Rec.
It is Parks and Recreation. City Hall is filled with the atrocities that Pawnee did on the Native American settlers.
Oh, yes, yes. That's right. They do show it, yeah.
And a lot of episodes they show it. Number 4, a character purposefully wears an ID badge with a different name on every episode.
Superstore.
Yeah, I'll go with Superstore on this one.
I'm going to go Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It is Superstore. Amy wears a different named ID badge on every episode.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
It's explained in the pilot of the episode when Jonah doesn't know her name, and she basically explains that people who she has to assist in her day-to-day job won't remember her name anyway. So what's the difference if it's actually her real name? So every episode she wears a different woman's name. Number 5. Here we're gonna start getting a little more interesting. A character on this show is bullied relentlessly for his love of calzones.
This is Parks and Rec.
This is Parks and Rec.
Telling me,
Speaking of Aziz Ansari.
no, it's Ben, man. You're telling
Oh,
me,
is it? Oh, yeah, it is.
You're telling me you guys know about Ben's
Calzones.
low-cal calzone zone?
Stupid shit like that makes it such a good show.
Oh, definitely one of my favorite running jokes in Parks and Rec. Number 6. A character always tries to get others to start chants with him, which they never do.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Wait, is this? Wait.
Oh, this is Superstore.
I'm gonna go with Superstore.
Superstore. Superstore. Shout out
This is the fucking
to Marcus.
idiot guy, Marcus.
This is honestly top 3 character in that show. He's not even a main character, but Marcus is that good.
Oh my god! More honestly, like the side people are in Superstore make it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. One of the
People-
best supporting casts, for sure. Up there with The Office, I'd say. A character tries to hide the fact that she smokes cigarettes in stressful situations.
The Office.
Is it The Office? I don't think I've seen The Office enough for.
Parks and Rec? I don't know.
It's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's Amy. Amy shames cigarettes. She hides them from as many people as she can.
I didn't know that.
Number 8. A character always wears a political pun as a Halloween costume that no one else ever understands.
Parks and Rec.
It has to be Parks and Rec because of the political stuff, I would feel. But there like all of these shows do a Halloween one.
Yeah.
So I will say Parks and Rec here.
I'll say Superstore.
It is Superstore.
Damn.
Ben always wears a political pun on every Halloween, and nobody ever gets it. One year he's Brexit, one year he's something else.
Oh, right. He
Huh?
does do that.
All right, number 9. A character always announces his name and the business he owns to everyone he meets, even individuals in the same group.
The Office.
It has to be The Office.
Wait, say it again?
A character always announces his name and the business he owns to everyone he meets, even individuals in groups.
Parks
No one
and
in
Rec?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine owns a business.
Bob Vance. Bob Vance Refrigeration.
Bob Vance.
Oh.
Vance Refrigeration.
That is The Office. Very good. You know what's actually a pretty fun fact about that? There's a theory, which is pretty well backed up, that the reason that he does that is because The Office is the only show where it's known they're being filmed. So he's saying it as advertisement for his business.
Oh, that's funny.
So that everybody will get it, stay in his
I didn't
head.
even think of that. I
Yeah,
just thought
no,
he was
it's pretty
dumb.
All right, good stuff, guys. I actually haven't been tracking, but I think Jerry's in the lead here.
It's Jerry, Joe.
And I think
believe
that's what it
the
is.
order.
But we got one last one here. We got number 10.
Ooh.
A character is hired multiple times by an accounting firm only to have to leave the job shortly after every time.
The Office.
Parks and Rec.
I'm going to say The Office.
It's Parks and Recreation. Some more love for my boy Ben.
Ben. That is Ben. I was
right.
about to,
There's some similar situations.
Ben always
because
has to leave.
They have the
man.
other office in
No.
the other place. What's
No,
That's what I was
like
thinking.
the cigarette question, Meredith has cigarettes hidden all over her office as well. That and alcohol, though. And
that is, I feel like that's just all the vices.
and
Listen,
then
if I said it, it's a running joke that makes plot lines in the show. So
all right,
it's not just back.
And then I could have
extra
sworn
bad
there's an
stuff.
episode of The Office where he keeps hiring and rehiring Pam and the other guy, Scott or something.
No, in Parks and Recreation, there's an accounting firm that Ben, basically they love him to death. He's like a rock star there.
Oh, yeah.
So they always give him a free job. Like he's a king here. They're like, we got Ben.
They're all like
and then
the nerdiest.
every single time, less than a day later, he gets offered a way better job and has to leave. And he's like, guys, and they're like, what's up, Ben? And he's like, I have to leave again. And they're like, is this one of your Ben jokes? No. Shout outs to Barney.
Man, that was where he has the board game.
Yeah, Cones of Dunshire. I was thinking about putting that one in here too. But yeah, thanks for playing workplace humor, guys.
That was
job.
good.
Good job to Jerry. Did well there. And shout outs to those shows. The more I
Shout
think
out.
about it, I
Those are
think the
good
worst
shows.
out of those 4 is The Office,
Shows.
believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
that's the one that I watch, and I swear I'm like, that was great.
Look, honestly speaking, you got to think without The Office, we probably wouldn't have a lot of these shows. So
Yeah.
credit to where it's due. But
Brooklyn Nine-Nine for sure would be like the dumbest, I would say.
but it's funny.
It's hysterical.
It
has Andy
has
Samberg.
cutaways.
Andy Sandler is like the best.
Yeah. And I think it's also heightened by the fact that they're New York police detectives and they're just idiots. Like, it's that much better. So, shout out. Also, that show's actually actively worked on by a lot of the Lonely Island team members, too, which is pretty hype. So,
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah, I'd imagine so.
and they
I
work
remember
on
that.
everything together. So, but thanks for playing Workplace Humor.
Wow.
Schmorgy-dork.
That is weird. They do a lot of the stuff they would do to all together.
What have y'all been up to?
I would like to, before we go into anything else, I'd like to give someone a shout out. It would be the famous interviewer Nardwuar, who has just broke, I believe, 35 years in journalism.
Jesus Christ.
So good for him. He started when he was like 18 or 19, I believe. And I'd like to shout him out because not only have all of the clips of him like surprising people and knowing shit about them. Do you know about Nardwuar, Joey?
I feel like I've heard
Even
of
if
that
you
name.
don't know who he is, you know who he
Yeah.
is.
The guy that talks like this.
Yeah.
I could have sworn
He has
I
the
think
glasses. We have to know.
He's the old guy who looks a little like Weird Al, who interviews
Yeah.
musicians, and he always surprises them by knowing like incredibly detailed things about their
I
lives.
think I've seen.
So on TikTok, a lot of like the ones of like him surprising all the big names
Yeah.
are going viral right now, and it's really important. But one thing I noticed of like how important it is that he made Lil Uzi Vert cry, and
that's one I remember. Yeah.
and it is the funniest thing ever.
Well, I feel like I got recommended to me? I think they just did like a new one. Right,
Yes,
with Lil Uzi?
that's where it's from. Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't
yeah.
see it.
So basically, Lil Uzi Vert's been like the main guy. He always like pretends to run away at the end, like that's the
Yeah.
ongoing joke. And the last time they met, it was like they were outside. You see like 8 of like Lil Uzi Vert's posses next to him, and Lil Uzi Vert is like, "Where have you been, Nardwuar? Where have you been?" And Nardwuar's like, "I've been in Vancouver, Canada. You know, where have you been, Lil Uzi Vert?" And he goes up for a hug, and you see like him. He's like actually has tears in his eyes. He's like, "I miss you, man. I miss you, Nardwuar." And I'm like, damn, this is actually really emotional. I did not expect, like, I did not think I would see Lil Uzi. I mean, out of any rapper to cry, it would be,
Yeah.
it would be like him or Drake, you know, like
Or like Tyler, the Creator.
yeah, those are the rappers that are crying, you know. It's like
Yeah.
they're allowed to have emotion, but like it still like shocked me. I was like, damn, this guy actually like means a lot to these people now. And I'm sure like he's even friends with like Snoop Dogg because he gave him like that rare VHS.
Rare VHS he was looking
That's like
for.
the
That was
coolest
that's one of my
clip ever.
favorites too. No, I was gonna say it's weird you bring it up, and now it makes sense when you said the whole 35-year anniversary thing. Because I recently had a clip suggested to me of his that I was watching, where he's interviewing the 2 guys from Nickelback.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about how like Nardwuar is a legend. And for 3 minutes in my life, I was like, do I like Nickelback? Like, these guys are pretty fucking cool. Like, I'm not crazy about their music, but I'd siph with Nickelback. Like,
I'd say
they're just like cool ass dads.
His
bro.
son is a podcaster now, I believe. So if we can get
Hey, Nick L back, bro. Nick, we got a show you can be on, homie. So let me know.
Word.
I think that's his
Nick.
name.
Nick.
Chris Kroger or something
Fucking
like
shout
that.
out to
probably.
Nardwuar though. That guy's
Yeah.
a fucking actual
I
legend.
really wish I was famous so that he could surprise me and I could be like,
Yeah, if he surprised us backstage at some concert, he's like, "I'm here with Team Joy." What would he know about us?
yeah, he would be like, he
You
would
know about Jerry's drawing.
You know what's
yo,
he would know about that.
Apples, B&H photo and video. Be like, nah, this fucking guy know about this shit.
You know what's funny that you mentioned that Nardwuar and Uzi had a thing because Nardwuar just I saw a clip of him recently where he was like chasing after Playboy Cardi and he like fucking dipped on him in his car.
yeah. And it became like a run-on joke, but some people actually do like run away from him as like on purpose. One of my favorites is a Denzel Curry. Like he just starts naming random things, you know, as it goes. He's like, nah. He gets like crazier, and then he names some random guy like Cool Bill or something like that, and he's like, yo, you know, dudes from my block, and he starts like breaking shit. It's like, yeah, good. Like he do like that's what he'd know about me. He just name people from Broad Channel and be like, do you know Joey the Bum? I'm like, damn.
How do you know? You know the Jamaican guy who sells beach chairs We have him here. Dylan, man.
Dylan, $45, man. It's like, no.
Oh, shit. That'd be hype. One
Crazy.
day. We have a new goal on the bucket list. Meet
Meet
Nardwuar.
him.
Yeah.
Wild.
Hell yeah.
How was Florida, homeboy?
Yeah,
You're like so much tanner than you usually.
I normally get like pretty dark during the summer.
Joey's having a hot boy summer.
Nah.
Arms out, guns
I went
out.
to we got to Florida and we went to Target to pick up like a lot of the hair products and gels because the TSA throws all that out. So while we were in Target, I saw a section. It said like the jeans and it said straight jeans, and I was like, "Yep, we're in Florida. We're here, all right." But yeah, Florida was chill. My grandfather went into a stroke, but he's better now. But because of that incident, me and my father were like redoing everything in the house for him. And then when we got to my mother's side of the family, we redid some stuff in their houses as well.
I was gonna say, it sounded like a lot of your vacation was just home repair. Honestly,
We
that's
should
what it
have
was.
lent you a camera. You could have had an HGTV show down
Yeah. Home Improvement.
That's why I'm laughing. It was so good. That was fucking strange, bro.
Joey Tim Allen?
It's me, bro.
I'm gonna replay it with the audio effect on top of it. You guys can hear it for yourself.
But yeah, and then I came back and I just wanted to do nothing. I was so happy to be back in my house and not do anything that I just watched a bunch of TV. And the two things I want to give a shout out to, Netflix's Nimona and Beef from A24. That was really good.
What?
I just like the fact that Joey went on a vacation to Florida. And he's like, so I watch TV. So here's my TV reviews for Florida.
He watched
this
when
was home.
No,
This
this
was
is
when I was
he
home.
got back from Florida.
Oh, okay.
And now he has something to do, so
I
whatever.
thought you said you had nothing to do out there. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, he was too busy HGTV.
Yeah.
No, you know what my cousins... My cousin made this cookie recipe he found on like Instagram. You take a graham cracker and you cut a piece of marshmallow or bite into a marshmallow and put it on top of the graham cracker and then cover it with cookie dough. And you put that in the oven for like 12 minutes and it creates this like really crunchy cookie dough cookie. It was really dope.
What does this have to do with TV? I'm so confused.
It would have been funny if he was like, you take a graham cracker and a marshmallow and you put a little chocolate on it. It's mad good. Like, you just found this recipe online. It's fire.
No, it was dope. It was really dope. But that's literally what I did in Florida.
I am actually curious. I know about Beef. My mom watched Beef. I saw a little bit of it with her. But this Nimona shit has been popping off everywhere. And I don't know if I believe how good it is.
I think it's good. I think you should give it a watch. I think it's fun.
Who made it, actually? The studio?
It was helped with Blue Sky Studio,
Okay.
and then it got purchased in like 2017, 2019 by Disney. So the guy that was or I don't know if it was what they identify as, but the person was making the movie and then was telling Disney, oh, like, we were not done with that. We're like 75% done with it. And Disney was like, oh, you can keep doing it. But then as soon as they started finding out that characters were gay, a lot of them were like turning around and being like, hey, I'm actually busy. I can't help you with this movie anymore. Ooh. And they were like, we're still making the movie, and Disney just shut it down. Disney was like, oh, forget about the movie.
Get out of here.
So the person then went to another studio. They helped finish the movie, and then Netflix picked it up, and it's eating Netflix. It's on the top 10 watched videos of Netflix. But it's a good movie. I watched it. I saw half of it, and then I stopped and was like, I need to watch it with my sister. Watched it in full, and then I watched it again with my girlfriend. So I watched it twice, and I can say that it's fun. I'm still quoting things for Tatiana.
So what's the synopsis here? She's
dragons.
She's
a shapeshifter.
Got it.
She could change different things
to anything, or like it's limited.
I don't want to say they show animals, but it alludes to like anything basically.
No, because I'm thinking it's
Joe
like...
Dillon's already breaking this shit down. He's like, but like, can she be a dresser?
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's literally what I thought. I was like, that's literally... No, I was like, can she be food, It's like prop hunt, like someone's chasing after her, she just becomes a fucking shelf. It's like, yeah, I don't see her, she's not here.
Shelf. No, but she overhears of a guy.
Why were we all thinking?
Is she in this room? Nah, it's just a washing machine in the middle.
On some prop hunt shit.
Yeah, if you hit it, she turns it back into a human.
But yeah, she's a shapeshifter.
She overhears of this guy that's committed this like terrible crime, but he says that he's innocent. But she's like, no, I'm gonna be your sidekick on some like minion shit. Like she's like, you're the baddest guy in this town. I'm gonna hang out with you. But this guy goes, no, I'm innocent. I was framed for what just happened, and she helps him anyway because she just likes his vibe. But she's like, the best way I could say is like chaotic good, because she's just like fighting things, yelling at things, and being like a little like anarchist to this guy that's like, I'm just trying to clear my name. And stop following me, by the way. Mm-hmm. But she's like following him, like she wants to be with him. But it was really good. Just the characters, the story, I think is all well done. Like even some of my favorite reviewers who are they have a big criticisms. They gave it like a 4 out of 5 and a 4.5 out of 5.
Fire.
So I thought it was really good, and I think Disney really missed an opportunity to not have their name slapped on it, because there's a lot of marketable things that they could have done.
I was gonna say an animated film with gay characters shunned by Disney. DeSantis is gonna have fun with this one. Oof, he might be president because of this. Just want you to remember that. It's that one little change in the timeline.
Have you seen?
I can't even say that's not gonna happen, because I said that shit when Trump was like,
Disney said no to the fucking Nimona, and DeSantis fucking 2024, bro.
Well, all I gotta say is I don't know if you guys have ever heard Ron DeSantis speak.
Oh no, yeah,
but there's no shot.
No, we're in good terms.
This guy has negative riz, you know, like he has.
But at the same time, Dylan. Did you see Lyndon B. Johnson's pants?
I did see Lyndon B. Johnson's
Lyndon B. Johnson's pants.
What am I not saying?
It's my favorite thing, bro. There's a sequel apparently to that.
Oh,
we have to watch it.
Sounds good.
Man, presidents be just saying some weird shit, man.
I started laughing because I thought of Joe Biden like forgetting where he is and then greeting the audience.
Yeah. No, this happened. I remember when I showed the Lyndon B. Johnson video, I remember that like I was on a thing where it was like the weirdest appearances for presidents. And it was like every single president and the weirdest shit they did. And I think
like Bill Clinton on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Obama's was weird because Obama was just like in the middle of like an active battlefield, and then on a podcast. Like that was the wildest thing Obama did. And it was like
that's where he's gonna go to talk about the experience on the battlefield.
Wide-legged like this, and then just like was like
and
apparently just.
You know why? We had this discussion already. It's him and Lyndon B, bro.
Bring up the penis tier list. We got this. Bring it up,
bro. We're telling this is gonna happen, Dylan. This was almost gonna happen for the 5th of July episode.
Martin Van Buren,
and we were like, let's keep that in the back burner. Right? James K. Polk, 3 inches, nothing, bro. Nothing,
he had BDE though.
I think Teddy Roosevelt's hanging. I think he's up there, bro.
Yeah,
that was a big dick energy president, bro. But Lyndon and Obama, that's the score we have to settle. It's one of those two. One of those two.
He had the big stick policy, bro.
Oh yeah,
and you know what the stick was?
Bill Clinton, I think he's
like
high middle.
He's thick. You know what I mean? He's got girth to it.
Oh, we're doing girth there.
That's important. That's
gotta be. What kind of graph is this, Jerry?
Jerry's the graph. Jerry, what's the graph?
That's
like
3D, bro.
Like a Venn diagram.
That's what we gotta do.
Plot.
We gotta do a scatter plot. President Dix, and then we'll do one of curvature too. I think that's how it works.
How do you do
There's so many things to take into account.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man.
Gotta code this.
Where do we go from here?
Penis.
President.
Somebody fucking I got penis on the mind, bro.
I brought in a segment. Fucking
I don't know, man.
Hey man, I'm not the one that fucking segued.
Jose's upstairs. Yeah. Actually, no, that's actually funny. There's something I do want to talk about. All right, cool. Reminded me. Thanks, Jose, for reminding me. Who's taking a nap in my bed?
I thought he was showering.
Jose's been around. He showered in the morning. He maybe he said he had to. I'm not getting into it right now. Point is,
that's actually what we're doing.
Jose's been hanging out. He slid over last night, but even before that, we hung out on Friday, and then late Friday we went to Jerry's house to hang out. We were just chilling, having a good time. After we left Jerry's house, we were pulling up. Jose was about to make the right to drop me off, and then in typical Jose fashion, he was like, "Actually, are you tired?" And I was like, "Nah." And he's
Classic.
like, "Bet you want to go somewhere?" And I was like, "Sure." So in typical old school fashion, we just like picked a direction and went, and we ended up going to Long Island City.
Classic.
Now I bring this up here at this table for those of you who are not, interned here. Back in the day when we were about 18, 19 years old, what we did for fun is we walked around neighborhoods in Queens and Brooklyn for about 2 to 3 hours, eating snacks and just talking about everything, making jokes about it. Kind of like what we do here at a weekly basis, except we used to do it on the go, right? Yeah. And I think the craziest part about this is this was years before any of us smoked weed, like so far. At least like when I tell people this, they were like, "You must have been high out of your mind." I was like, "No, this is what we did."
And then afterwards, it became like that.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But and we were talking about that too, because we were like, Jose was mentioning like there was that weird spot where we just started and it was like an event for us. So going out and doing this was like an adventure and shit, right? So we were just like talking about these old nostalgic times of the old school hangouts, and we got to Long Island City. And like I looked up and nothing there is the same. It is so different to the point where I was like flabbergasted. He was like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like I took videos and pictures. I don't know if you guys remember, but we used to park in like this really industrial area because that's where like these flat plot areas and warehouses were far away from the Coca-Cola sign and the docks and shit. Those are all high-rise buildings, all skyscrapers, luxury hotels,
from
terraces.
Basically from like COVID on, all the construction still went on.
Yeah.
So in that like 3-year span, everything got fucking built. I went there a year and a half ago, and all that shit was like still being built. You know.
Yeah. The walk there was honestly incredible because like it's you even when you get past that and you start walking into the quote-unquote familiar territory of where we used to hang out,
like
even
all the
that's
grass.
So like newly done. It's crazy.
I know they planted a bunch of new shit as well there.
Yeah. There's like it's hard to explain, but there's like that one area where there's like a dock and then there's like a volleyball court. They planted a bunch of trees there, so it doesn't even feel like the same place anymore.
Very foresty.
Yeah.
But I think I saw something on the drive back that there was like mad trees, and I was like, "The fuck is that?"
It's fucking cool, man. I was just like, it's crazy because of how long it's been since we all went there, and then obviously we started talking about that one time we went to film the Chronicles and lost all of that incredible footage. We lost the Thug Asians and Dylan Smackaroos down by the park. Just fucking
classics.
It was just weird. Like we were just thinking about it and how, like, I don't want to be deep or dramatic, but just how time has changed, you know, not just in terms of that, but us as well as people. It's fucking weird. Put it all into perspective. We're getting old there, you know.
Yeah, we are getting old.
You saying that makes me. I was like, this should happen like 2 years ago, a year ago.
We started this like he said, we started
right
this
out of
in 2015. School. Like we started this very early. Like,
yeah, that was before
Jose
the podcast
just became our friend, and we did this shit immediately.
And it was because he was the one with the license.
Yeah, exactly. So he was the driver in the Jeep.
I
mean, think of how long ago Jose has had the Jeep.
Yeah.
Because he had the Jeep, then he had the red fucking buggy.
To put it into perspective, right? From 2015 to 2000 and probably 19, like right before the COVID pandemic happened, once to twice a week, we would just hop in the car and just drive to one of these places and do this on a weekly basis.
And then I feel like it would always be like at least once a week, and then Jose would have a one-on-one with us or some combo of like 3 of us, you know. It was always like a different weird.
Jose was just
I never fully understood
strategy.
I think that's just him being selfish. Like, who do I want to hang out with?
Yeah.
today?
Well, no, I mean, I feel like
no, he has a chart at home.
No, that's more for Jose's like I got.
Joey's right. Whatever you say, Joey's right. He does have that chart at home.
He has a chart at home. If I get 5 more Bobby hangouts, I could get a coupon.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
First off, he's 100% correct, but I feel like also it depends on like I feel like sometimes me and like you and Jose's, you come up with like the funniest fucking shit. Sometimes
just nonsense.
Sometimes Jose and Jerry back in the day would just hang out for like days.
I can explain this.
It'd be like a therapy session with me and him.
Explain this
like it'd be insane.
really easily. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. When Jose hangs out with Joey, it's to catch up.
Yeah.
When Jose hangs out with Jerry, it's to watch whatever Jerry's doing.
Yes.
When Jose hangs out with Dylan, it's to talk about shit that they can't talk about with the rest of us.
Or just deeper.
When Jose hangs out with me, it's to talk nonsense, verbal garbage.
Gobbledygook.
And I say this from a place of genuine non-bias and non-selfishness. I think he hangs out with me the most because of that. Okay.
Fucking gloopy
hours, we could just turn our fucking brains off, and I could look at him and he could be like, "Bro, 12 nuts," and I'll be like, 13 today, baby. And we know what the fuck we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Jose has come up with also some of the funniest shit. Like
our vernacular is incredible.
And I feel
bro.
like when we do like sketches or stuff on the show, I feel like a lot of it should just be stupid shit Jose and us come up with.
Number 12, my brat, red shoe.
Bro, wait, fucking Spess, bro.
Spess, man.
Like, come on. Like,
That was gonna be our clothing line,
yeah,
bro.
imagine if we actually did that and it was like a Swedish clothing designer.
Mad Swim, Bool, Dusty Robot. Bro, I think that was you. Dusty Robot.
Dusty Robot. I don't
remember.
I feel like a Dusty Robot. That was the day that I was Jerry.
I laid down on the ground.
Jerry said
Damn, that was a long time ago.
Oh my god, we had a fucking. That was like the beginning of the pen era. Like, oh shit, pens exist.
Oh yeah, and then you take
one and you're dead. You know what I mean, bro? Jerry was like, I feel comfortable here. I'm gonna sit here, and Jerry's in the middle of the asphalt street as a car is pulling up. And Jose and I are like, get the fuck up, bro.
Nah, I was there for a minute before that car showed up.
That doesn't help your case.
That's not how they remember it.
Jerry's like, it was a beautiful day. It was sunny.
Oh, you know what's the best quote of that? I think you said it. This is a scooter type of moment.
I think someone was on their scooter.
It's a scooter type of moment, man. Oh, fuck.
This is a scooter moment.
Why does it sound like something DJ Khaled would say? You know?
Word.
Yeah, word.
I'm starting to hate that guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, fucking love you.
God did.
Little
Bring
red.
in the lobster.
Well, I love that. What is this? That's avocado. So what is this? Bacon. How about this? That's eggs. Like it's like the best video. The girl gets paid like 10 an hour as a fucking waitress. She's like, what the fuck?
I don't understand.
That's noodles.
And what is this?
So
Water.
That's
It's
agua.
water.
Bro, I remember.
What is this called? Agua?
What was the fucking social media site that he first took over? It was Snapchat. Right?
Snapchat.
The DJ Khaled Snapchat era was fucking chef's kiss, bro. For 2 months on a daily basis, you could watch this guy get a ticket on his jet ski, get a haircut every day. This is not a joke. Get a haircut, and then like water his plants. He did that every day in that order. He'd be like, going to Diddy's house on my fucking jet ski. Oh, I got a ticket. And there was like, hey, Khaled, hey, man. Every day he got a fucking ticket. He got a haircut every day. Oh, and there was that little kid who sold shoes. He's probably like 19 now.
Yeah.
Money moves. That fucking
yeah.
little sneaker kid.
Business is booming.
Business
Yeah.
is booming.
Booming.
Oh, the Khaled Snapchat era was different, man.
Damn.
That just made me realize
This
how
is
old
so
we are.
weird.
That's the weirdest part. That's the like we're so old that all of the Vine people are like 20
Yeah.
and older, and that's very strange. Like I heard the clip, it's like with the chicken strips. I heard that, and I'm like, that kid's in college.
Yeah.
At least.
I think about that all the time, bro. The 21
Sheesh.
kid has got to be what? In high school, right?
At least.
Damn.
Probably older.
Probably.
yeah.
Nah, he's got to be like what? A sophomore, junior, maybe?
Nah,
How old-
older you think?
21. I think 21. I was in LaGuardia, so that
21?
was like.
That video was very
So yeah,
old.
that kid might be in college.
Yeah.
Insane.
Or maybe not. I don't
Depends on how well
He might be
did.
in the army.
Yeah. He might be somewhere else.
How many pull-ups can you do? 18.
Wow.
That's where I cap it off.
That's right.
I'll do more.
Oh man. All right. Jam,
time.
yam, bam.
Closing up shop.
Slam. Also, check in next week on episode 150 where we will be unveiling volume 2 of our James Bam's.
What word was that?
I'm excited for that.
Unveiling? It was unveiling, but I threw some twang on it. I don't know what that was.
All right, I got a song for you, and I found it on Spotify, but I don't think it's a Spotify song. I think it's a SoundCloud song that they uploaded illegally.
Oh,
you know?
it's
one of those.
I have several artists saved that are that.
You know when it's not a song, it's a playlist. Oh, it's a podcast.
Sometimes it's a podcast.
Sometimes
yeah.
it's a podcast.
Sometimes it's just
Yeah,
a different
but the
artist.
song-
Hey, what's this 3-minute and 13-second long podcast?
But the song is "The Curse" by Travis Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, it came up on my Discover Weekly. It was hitting finally.
If it's on the Discover Weekly, then it's probably on Spotify. Because I think Spotify picks that.
It was under Flame.
Oh. For my jam of the week, honestly speaking, I had a pretty weak jam week, but the one song I have been bumping to is a little hip-hop song called Slipping Into Darkness by Hit Boy and the Alchemist. Kind of a cool song where both of them are hip-hop producers. They both make their own beats, and then they rap over each other's beat. It's kind of
Nice. Very cool.
My slam comes from the Smashing Pumpkins. It's called
Hey.
Mayonnaise. The reason I chose it is because that Netflix show I saw, Beef, that's the closing song before the whole series ends.
Nice.
And it was such a really dope moment to that song. Like on par with Pixies' Where Is My Mind in Fight Club. Like, it was a really dope moment.
Nice.
It's what I've been jamming to, like, on repeat for the past 2 days.
Where is my mind?
Very cool. My yam of the week is going to be If You Only Knew by Funeral, a classic to both the gem and yams. And he's not pitch shift vocals at all, I don't think. Or it's like very, very little.
I'm interested.
And I like that more, I think. I feel like, you know, sped up on TikTok is very popular right now, but I feel like pitch shifted vocals that are very high is very 2019, 2020-ish. But yeah, I would say that his voice on this, if the beat was slower, it would almost be like an R&B song. So it's like pop-ish type, you know? So yeah, it's good.
Cool. That's the funeral.
Yeah.
Man, before we end the podcast, I just found it weird that you were bringing up the funeral. I know this is a very nostalgic episode for us, I guess.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were bringing up the funeral thing, it started making me think about hyperpop. And, like, I also equate you getting into hyperpop to us starting this podcast.
Yeah.
And as weird
because it was all COVID-esque.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all of it was, like, formulated because, like,
as weird as it sounds, like,
to do.
now it's starting to feel a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, like, up until last week, I was like, that was, like, fucking... Now it's like, that was 2 years ago.
Now,
that was
damn,
3 years
Is this
ago.
the episode where we all just realize our age?
I think this was the last episode of the fucking podcast.
No, I think so.
This is where we all realize we have better shit to do.
No, this is literally like like we realized it's like we've been doing this 3 years. What the fuck? Like it's like the pre, you know.
Yeah.
And then we finish saying fuck when we get to the
all I can say is from here on out, either some great shit is gonna happen or some bad shit is gonna happen.
Downfall.
It's the downfall or the rise.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Year 10 is gonna be fun. But thanks for watching. Make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show. It'd be really helpful if you could subscribe to El Equipo del Joystick. I don't know if that's how you say it in fucking Spanish, but we're just gonna pretend that's how it is. Comment. What's your favorite workplace comedy? Maybe it's one of the ones we didn't mention. Maybe it's 30 Rock, or maybe it's the other one.
Maybe it's Ned's Declassified.
Maybe it is Ned's Declassified. That is a workplace
the
comedy.
doctor one.
Scrubs.
Yeah.
Could be Scrubs too. Yeah.
It's actually
Could be Futurama.
But we hope you enjoyed. We hope you have a great week. We'll catch you here next Wednesday for some more fun-filled action for episode 150.
Correct.
And until then, somebody say something right now.
Fuck.
Jufin.
We're just joofing, bro.
Just